how's it going? It is March 31st, 2016. You've probably watched many of my videos on my YouTube channel, or you may be a friend of mine on Facebook. Either way, we've gone through lots of journeys. Through all these videos you've seen me as my transitions, you've seen me as different processes happened, and I've been very open and straightforward and very truthful at the time of my emotions and how I feel. Each challenge and each step of the transition, there's been its own trials or tribulations or events so far. With the vagina, I post-operative, I had two hematomas, one each side, one slightly external, one was internal. That came on approximately around about 30-day post-op, which was repaired and fixed up by my local doctor here in South Australia, a gynecologist by the doctor of Anna Lajenko. She did a perfect, unreal, brilliant job. And saved my vagina. But hey, shit happens, We don't go into this blindfolded. We don't go into doing all these things not knowing there's going to be some risk. Just realistically, But, what level that risk is, we can't tell. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts differently. There's no set formula, only on the way they do the operations. And so life went on for approximately just over 2 years, and then I decided that maybe I would like some breast augmentation. Maybe I would like to try maybe a bit of cosmetic surgery or some Botox as well. So June 2016, let's get it right, June 2015, I took that journey back to Thailand, and back to the same doctor, the same clinic, which performed the original operations. That means the SRS, he was the leading surgeon and doctor performing the SRS or GRS, which is the penis reconstructed into a vagina. He also did the nose, made it slimmer, straighter, and made it look more feminine. So this time I went back there. And he gave me Botox on the face, which is on here, and all along here and here and here. You would have seen the video. It's videos here. If it's not on Facebook, it's on YouTube. Or it's on Google, but it's out there. And he gave me breast augmentation as well. Wow. I've seen the operations happen many times on YouTube, and I wasn't naive to what was done, and I knew what could be achieved. The operation itself went off good, in the sense that the achievable result at the initial time was good and perfect. The shaping, the positioning of the breast was perfect. There was extensive, and please understand me, I'm not joking by that word extensive. Alright, you must understand. I'm a very muscular in many ways person, frame. I was black from this point here of my body, at least at 2.5 to 3 inches, which is about 5-6 centimeters, all the way across to the other side. And that was good for a good week. Easy. I had it really, really nasty. But, that's about the only really bad part of the actual procedure, which, was shocking in a sense, other than the surprise of the size of them. didn't think 500 mil was going to look this big. There's only, we'll get to it, but there's only one left at the moment. So, everything looked good. There was taking antibiotics because you get a minor infection or whatever, just to prevent from infections. I had wound breakdown minor up here with the stitching, and that's because of the heat and sweat and all that. But I had wound breakdown down there as well, and it's not uncommon wound breakdown or stitch breaking. It's not an uncommon thing, especially with hot humidity, environments. So that will work. Come home, which was good. Everything was going good. I had an incident in Thailand where I had, an adventure, which most people do in Thailand. I mean, Thailand is the land of smiles, Thailand is the land of beauty, Thailand is the land of adventure, and the only limitation to your fun in Thailand is your own limitations, what you stick on yourself, in a real sense. So anyway, so I had to go on some antiviral drugs to prevent any illnesses or diseases, and thank God they all came back negative 6 weeks later. So anyway, about 60-day post, or nearly just over 2 months anyway, of the operation, it started to inflame, and that was the left breast. And it's inflaming, much like similar at first now is what this one's doing. I battled that for 7 months. I mean, I battled it. It swelled to nearly 3 times its mass. It was bright red. It had opened itself up on the side in a little like a blister, and shot out pus for for a little while. Really disgusting shit, you know what I mean? And eventually got to the stage where it started to attack my lungs, the infection on this side, so they had to remove the left breast, which left a pretty nasty scar. And I'll keep within guidelines so we can get this on YouTube. Alright, and on Facebook you can see a big scarring there under the left breast area. These breasts were placed through the armpit up here. Scarring up there is nothing. It doesn't even show anymore, basically. It does, but it's very minimal. So that was done, and when this was going to be operation, I said, look, I'm having problems with both, this one, the right one had fluid on it. I was getting pain and discomfort. Just take both, let me start off from fresh and let my body heal and get better. And then, they come back with this quote like, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, and no, we're not going to remove your right one, we're only going to remove your left one. I had no choice, it had to come out. I couldn't leave it in there any longer. It was poisoning my body. So in catch-22, aren't you? If you don't get the left one out, you're liable to get extremely sick and maybe life-threatening. But you really should have had both taken out then and there. Okay, so they take it out about January 3rd. So goodbye Christmas, goodbye New Year's again. So I haven't celebrated an event for conservatively now probably 3 years with everything going on. Easy, really. 3 years was the last time I celebrated a real definite event. My 2-year anniversary for my vagina, I had a small party in town, and I partied that night. That's probably about the only time, really, where I've had an event which I could have celebrated. No birthdays, Christmas, which have been of any real substantial nature. Anyway, let's forget all that crap. So we're now coming up to March 2016. So we're going from the June 20th of implantation to removal of the left breast implant after 8 different courses of medication, 40-day PICC line, and then operation removal of the left breast implant. And that came out, as you see. And then we're on medication for approximately 2 weeks. So that takes us into late January. So now we're going for about a month now, and it seems the right breast is starting to fail. Strange about that, isn't it? You know, I did make it quite clear that they should have taken both out. You know, there was evidence to show that there was something going on. They wouldn't listen. They believed and said to me that the pains and symptoms I was feeling in my right breast were systematic to the left one's problems. Hello? If that's the case, then why would now, right, within the last 2.5 weeks, would first occasion 190 mils of fluid, thick fluid, right, containing a staph bug in it, right, removed with a 20 gauge needle under ultrasound? Maybe a hiccup. Okay, really? Then why? Less than a week and a half later, suddenly this 220 mils of fluid needed to be taken out with an ultrasound guidance under a 20 gauge needle again. Queen Elizabeth Hospital. What a place. You know, in January I got a good vibe, and, you know, in many respects. I had a couple of problems then, but I didn't really, you know, take a lot of it in, because I just thought it maybe be just like a learning curve. People, you know, maybe they've never had a transgender person open like I am or whatever. But that's what I wrote it off to. But then I don't keep making excuses for people's organisations, groups, professionals, or health service providers, which, you know, can't adhere to modern gender policies and respect for my gender. So let's express that quite clear. So let's go for the first lot of hiccups and problems. We're getting the terminologies wrong. Well, first we don't get a phone call telling us there is a bed ready when there was, and told that I've got less than 45 minutes or an hour maximum to go from Smithfield Plant, where I live, all the way to Queen Elizabeth, which is approximately about 30 odd 40 kilometres in peak hour traffic to get in, or I have to go for ER. Okay, fair enough, I accept that. No worries, shit happens. Hey, get to ER and get admitted into the hospital ward. Not bad. First nurse, not bad. Second nurse started getting heat, and then I corrected her. And then, you know, going for the night, and then suddenly we're getting a bit of a nasty type of tang in the air. And the way you interact with a couple of people, you start to feel something. Thought, no, it's just me feeling, you know, funny. A couple of days, a day go past, 2 days go past, and suddenly I'm placed on fasting. I'm being told there's an operation. And told they're going to remove my right breast. You have to go eating from tonight midnight. Great, good. You know, something's happening. We're going to get somewhere. We're going to finally get rid of the breast implants, and we're going to get the body back to normal. If at a later date that I choose to get breast implants, that'll be my problem. If I have to pay for it, or get it through the government system and fight for it, or whatever, that's my problem. But at the moment, my immediate problem is my health, and to maintain my health in as long as quick as possible recovery. And that's where we come down to. So I'm being discriminated, if I call it discrimination, or whatever you want to call it, you know, being called he and him. That's not good enough. And then I'm being told that I'm on fasting, which is really cool, isn't it? You know, I'm going to have an operation, so I fast. I fast for 10.5 hours, no drinking, no eating, because I'm told there's going to be an operation. Plastic teams come in. Oh, when's the operation? Oh, I'm still fasting. Why are you fasting? I was told I'm having an operation, I'm fasting. There's no record of you having an operation. What do you mean? I've been placed on fasting all night. I was taken out of one ward, placed on fasting, having 2 nurses stand in front of my room, doing a handover, explaining my conditions, using the wrong terminology, saying that it's a left breast when it's a right breast, which is the problem, calling him, he, constantly through the whole conversation, even being corrected by by the nurse she was talking to, and then placed on fasting for 12 hours and no operation. Even though that I was came into that hospital for that operation to have that right breast removed, because that's what was recommended by infectious disease and by the Lima Hospital. Otherwise, what would I be doing in hospital? They could have kept me in Lima and just put me on IVs. So, anyway, that made me extremely angry, because I've been misled. I've had discrimination against me. I've been placed on fasting for no logical reason. I've been lied to and misled. I've had drugs put into my body at a faster rate than normal. What? No, I don't have a medical degree. No, I am not a registered nurse or RN nurse. But I have been an aged care nurse. I have done home chemotherapy for my mother, right, administering. I have been well aware of the medical systems over the years from my own medical problems, which have been resolved by medical staff. And I've been quite aware and did my own research on what is wrong with my body and how to correct it and what my problems are. So I'm very well aware of what the processes are. So we go to the problem. You know, that's not very good. Let's go to the second problem. So we've got, third problem. So we've got discrimination. This is all at Queen Elizabeth. Then we've got misleading information, placed on fasting for no logical reasons, and told there's operations happening when there's not. Let's go to the fourth problem. We'll go for an X-ray, or an ultrasound. I've had quite a few ultrasounds, probably over about 5 or 6 already, on my breast areas, by private practices, like Benson's or Jones Partners, by private hospitals, like Calvary, and by public hospitals, like the Lime McEwen. Every single time they had done a breast ultrasound X-ray, when they place you in that room, they lay the bed flat. 2, they place a triangular foam cushion underneath your shoulder, of which breast it may be examined. So your breast is in the right profile, so when they do that imaging, they get the whole plane and they can see into it. 1, I was not laid flat. 2, there was no foam cushion placed underneath my shoulder. Therefore, the image did not project correctly what was there. Let's go to the fifth problem. Well, probably 5 now, easy. I don't know, I'm starting to lose track. This is ridiculous, Queen Elizabeth Hospital. You know, she estimates in the van for conversation with the doctor. Oh, the doctor walks in the room. You know, suddenly she grabs a cushion, puts it underneath my shoulder. Doctor says, yes, that's right, I can get to that now. Very good, thank you. Nothing about the cushion should have been there in the beginning. Let's start talking about how much is in there. Technician, the person or nurse, whatever you want to be called, who did the original X-ray at the Queen Elizabeth without the cushion, without laying your bed flat, her estimation was approximately about 50 mil. Doctor, he said, going by that and such a large pocket, might be saying about 140. My own knowledge and my own experiences with my breasts and the X-rays, which ultrasounds we've done before, I estimated 200. I extracted 220 mils of thick, gunk, clear, brown fluid, which needed a 20 gauge needle to be removed. My right breast has no problem in January. My right breast is going to be okay. If my right breast does not need to be removed. These are the words which Queen Elizabeth Hospital said. Strange. Then why is suddenly, less than a week, or just over a week and a half, there's 410 mil of fluid being removed from my right breast? Excuse me? My breast implant is only 500 mil. That means nearly to the equal mass of my implant was a fluid which is toxic and poisonous to my body. My breast is fine, is it? Okay. I lied. They lied to me. I'm the idiot. I'm the dumb person. I don't know nothing, you know. How do I know what my body does? How would I know what, how to treat my body? How would I know what things are? Because I've learnt from experiences of my own personal trials. I know. And I've had very good advice. So, leaving me no other option, because they would not, and they have stated, remove my right breast. They have this grand plan of replacing my left one. In the story, I made it quite clear. I do not want implants in my body until I have got all implants out. Till my body is cured. Till my body comes back with clean readings, with no bugs, bacteria in my breast area. You cannot replace one, then suddenly replace the other, then that one goes failing, and it's like a roller coaster. It doesn't work, and I'm not going to be an experimental monkey for some jockey. Just not going to happen. It's really hard to keep control these days. You know, I would just like to go along and just rip their heads off and stick his head right up his bloody ass and make him shake his head. You know, it is ridiculous. It is frustrating. It is to the max. So, I'm at the max of my stress and anxiety, putting up with all this crap, being flooded with drugs into my body. My veins are collapsing by this time. They're finding it extremely hard to get blood out. My skin is drying out on my legs and my hands. My hair is going yuck. I've got diarrhea in the morning every morning prior to going into hospital with the IVs. You know, the drugs are making me sick as I work. They're going to make me sick if I take them again. You know? So, leave me no other option except frustration, and they're not going to do anything. Left me no choice but to leave the hospital. They said, no, you can't go, you've got to stay. I said, I'm leaving. So I removed the drip and refused all future medication and care. So I drive home. I get a phone call halfway home from doctors begging me to come back, telling me they're going to do something. I said, I can't talk to you right now. I'll get a $500 fine. I'm driving. Click. I get a phone call when I get home, half an hour later. Gabriella, please come back. We are going to do something. We are going to fix it. I said, yeah, okay, sure. No, you're not. You're just not going to do it. You've said already not removing the right implant. We are going to do something. Please come back. So, alright. I went back. Mind you, I've got an extremely sick mother at this time. She's got chronic diarrhea, she's got chronic vomiting, she's not well, she has a lung infection, you know, and so on. She's 83 years of age and she's in remission of cancer. So I'm in a balancing act, you know. So I go back. 24 hours later, they come back in. We have met. We are not removing your right implant. Mr. Carney says he is not removing your right implant because he wants to replace your left one at a later date. And if he removes your right one, he cannot do so. I don't know how many times you're going to repeat yourself. It just seems that people don't bloody listen. So I repeat myself again. I do not want my implants. I want them out. They are toxic for my body. I do not care if they're not replaced. It's like an endless story. No one listens to you. So anyway, not going to do nothing. They want to keep me on more drugs. They're telling me I've got bugs in my breast. I've got bugs in my blood. I've got to stay on medication. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not keeping the right breast. You're not going to do something about it. Now, I'm not staying in hospital. I'm not doing this crap. So I removed the drip again. That's it. Refused all medication and left. Waited till Tuesday morning. Because I'm disgusted with this crap. It's unprofessional. It's not what is expected within the public hospital system of a modern country in the 2016. The practices were disgusting, unprofessional. And, you know, I've travelled many a country and gone through the system, medical systems for friends and myself and whatever, and that what happened to me is just absolutely pathetic. It should not be happening. A patient's concern, a patient's wishes should be priority number one. Not a doctor's wishes or a doctor's concerns in that respect, unless it's regard to the health and danger of the person. In my case, that part wasn't listened to. My health, my concern, my wishes was not listened to. And now I'm being subjected to someone else's viewpoints, someone else's choice to what's going to happen with my body, and now suffering the consequences because they did not want to do what was asked. They did not want to do what was referred to be doing. They did not want to do what modern research, actually tells them, if a silicone implant is in a toxic fluid or an infected fluid for a long period of time, it is an extremely high likelihood, in a high 90%, if not 100% likelihood, that that breast or that silicone implant would be impregnated with the toxic or bug, and therefore cannot be removed and cannot be saved. The only viable, possible, cost-effective healthiest option is to removal of the silicone breast implants for longevity of that person, because you cannot guarantee those implants are not impregnated when they have been in a infested toxic fluid for a long period of time. Long period of time is 9 months. The right breast was sore. The right breast had fluid around it. The right breast had problems around it. It was not as bad as the left one, but it has always had the same fluid around it. It just increased. So therefore, it is 9 months. You cannot tell me that implant is going to be good. I will not accept it. So, removal is the only option, as it should have been done in January when you removed the left implant. It is ridiculous. So you point where you have to go, leave hospital, withdraw medication to achieve a point or to get acknowledgement of an issue. It's disgusting. To have to go and get help either from a member of parliament or a minister of health or other doctors to get the right thing done, even though it was recommended and suggested by multiple doctors from multiple fields, as in ER, as in infectious disease, professors, doctors, 2 hospitals, all recommendation of breast removal, breast implants removal. But hey, they don't listen to those people. They don't listen to me. So why are they going to listen to other doctors, you know? Who are they? So, we fight, we argue. Suddenly I get response. Suddenly, after I get the infectious disease professor back involved, and he makes a phone call, I'm in the same room. I have extremely good hearing. And sometimes it's to my advantage, sometimes it's to my disadvantage. But I could hear every word which was said. And his own words was, if she removes the right one, she's not getting the left one replaced. And that's it. It wasn't fitting the guidelines. Excuse me. The issue is not about the left breast implant. The issue is about the right. The right is the problem. The right should have been removed. Now, I have been misled this whole time. I was told there are staph bugs in the breast tissue or fluids. I've been told there is a staph bug in the blood. Okay. So, then I'm told I've got another bug which may affect my heart muscle. But then I'm told I'm not on that one. So they stop the vancomycin, whatever it is, and then keep me on the flucloxacillin on IVs. You know? And now that I've gone and got all these problems addressed and getting other people involved in the issue, suddenly they come back and they said, oh, the fluid extracted, even though it was a week later, had no bugs in it. Interesting. But yet, you've kept me in hospital for 4 days and you're telling me I did have bugs. You said I had 2 bugs. There's no bugs. It's in your blood. You've got a staph bug in your blood. Well, common sense tells you, if I've got a staph bug and it's in my blood, but it was in my breast 2 weeks ago, or breast fluids, and suddenly it's not in there, and going by all the current shit which has been said to be lies, like there's contaminated samples, and going by the practices of removal, when I've been used as a pin cushion and bruised all up, you can't see it probably in the light, but definitely you might be able to see it. There's a lot of bruising on my arm. I used to have very good veins, you know. Use a pin cushion. multiple entries by the same needle, tugged around like this, you know. It's not how you do things. It's not how I believe you take samples for cultures, you know. Just keep dagging away. Yeah, why not, you know. Suddenly you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groove points where a needle's gone in from one entry. Pretty good, eh? You know, to ripping the lids off the cultures and, you know, bottles, and leaving them sitting there for approximately, you know, 4 or 5 minutes, you know, in the room. This is a hospital room, you know. Maybe that means nothing, you know. And then putting, you know, an alcohol swab sitting over the top of it after you flip the cap off, and then instead of taking the alcohol swab off, you just stick the needle straight through it into an alcohol swab and straight into. Maybe that's acceptable. I don't know. But the cultures, but it was contaminated samples. We're meant to have faith in our system. I really doubt, you know, the effectiveness of it anymore. I mean, what is it? You know, are we their experimental subjects for their wishes, their desires, and not our own? I look at it in multiple ways. This is what's happened to me. I look at it in my own health-wise, which is disgusting and pathetic that they're doing it the way they are. But then I look at the other side, is the sheer cost. I mean, this is public health. I mean, I understand, you know, it's cost money to cure people, but I can't justify waste when waste should not have happened. I cannot justify the expenses, you know, which are going to multiply and have multiplied since that point in January, because someone else's choices, instead of which was medically practical, possible, cost effective, and best for my long-term health, was not considered or taken into account. These things are disgusting. I mean, you know, it's bad enough. This is just my own health system in South Australia, the public health, you know, just dealing with the Queen Elizabeth Hospital plastics unit. This is ridiculous, absolutely off the planet. You know, and it's extremely hard not to get aggressively angry. It is extremely hard. I mean, it's a fight now. It's a pure fight just to keeping that part under control. And then you go to the other side of it. I mean, you know, I've got to be fair, you know, I've had enough. I mean, excuse the language, fuck this shit, you know. I'm no one's pigeon, no one's pawn, you know. I'm a queen or a king, if you want to call it, or whatever, but I'm not going to be used as someone's pawn. I'm not going to be ignored or let down or what'd be the word? Only some ways, the unacceptable standard of post-operative care is the only word you could use for it. I made allowances for it in January, you know, because of distance, travel, time, and circumstances of the problem. But when the breast problem come around, that we didn't have those same scenarios. I had time, I had the finances, I had the ability to go and get this fixed and sorted out from the original place, the original doctor, and get it sorted right then and there, within 3 weeks or 4 weeks of the problem arising. I had the financial capabilities to leave. I asked to go back. I was told no. I asked for help. I was told I do not need to come back. I'm not to come back. The Australian health system, South Australian health system, will fix me. The doctors over here will fix me. It makes you very, very disappointed when events happen like that. You know, I had a lot of love and a lot of respect and a lot of loyalty for the doctor who did my stuff, and I thought he was a jewel in many, many cases. I never, ever, ever believed or thought that he would take the actions he has taken in the last couple of months. And actions as in breaking off communications, not correspondence, no advice, listening to rumours, innuendos, false accusations, defamatory comments and actions of others, thinking that they know who I am and you believing it. They are disgusting that you believe those comments. It is disgusting that the actions were done, as in the lack of communication, the lack of advice, the lack of caring. Simple. I mean, when the left breast there was problems, and suddenly, I'm being accused of all these actions I've meant to have done. Let's go through it. I'm meant to be a drug courier. Not happening. I meant to sexually molest. No, I'm sorry, that did not happen. I pay for my sex, or I get it through love. I'm meant to use chemical drugs like crack or meth or ice or whatever in your dreams. It's never going to happen, never has happened, and never will happen. To say I lie, I never lie, and I don't lie. I don't believe in it. I find it disgusting, and lying never gets you anywhere. The truth always wins. Why do you think I do these videos? Why do I sit here so confidently speaking what I have to say when I have a problem with anything? Because I only speak what are truth, fact, and nothing less. I have helped thousands of people worldwide with transitions and advice and care, and never turned my back on any of them when they had their problems until their problems were solved. And then if I chose, I didn't like that person, I didn't find them appreciative or respectful, I might have stopped contact. But I never walked away from when they had their problems. And I never walked away from someone who has been extremely caring, helpful, loyal, and it's just so much. I mean, it's disgusting. Why does a doctor do these things? You've invested thousands of dollars. You've gone over there and travelled into a country to get what you believe is the most modern, most best, and most professional, most quickest technique you can find, and cheapest in some respects. Your expectations is of high quality in operation, in procedures, in methods, and you expect the same in post-operative care. I mean, you expect it, as in when they say, it's guaranteed, you can guarantee my work. Well, then guarantee means guarantee. Guarantee means that you've got to be there when the person is at their worst, or you are going to accept responsibility, or you are going to help cure or fix that person, or rectify the problem. That's what warranty means. That's what guarantee means. That means trust. That means respect. That means loyalty. But when you don't honour those words, and you don't honour those guarantees, and you turn your back, and you have no contact, and you do not add advice, or you refuse to return to get these problems corrected, what is a person meant to do, and what is a person meant to think, and what is a person meant to believe anymore? Especially when that person has never lied, never been mistruthful, and has been totally honest with everybody and every one of the problems. Maybe I might not have shown all the photographs exactly in the detail to the problems I've had, because they're extremely graphic. And they're extremely graphic. They're more graphic than the videos. But, you know, they were a personal issue with a personal problems, and they weren't there to discourage people. And what I showed was enough to be honest and truthful and give people the awareness. I backed that up with videos and running commentary of other problems. It didn't need the photographs to back that up. But I'm totally lost. I'm totally disgusted. I'm totally disappointed and totally offended in every aspect of the treatment and interaction which the doctor who performed all my operations in Thailand has become and done. You know, I've been more than fair, more than generous, more than, you know, timely, patiently waiting, hoping that, you know, it was just a breakdown in a communication for a short period of time. It was a hiccup. It was just, you know, something happened. But no, it is not. It is an issue. It is a problem, and is a problem which is manifested into what we have now. And that's maybe an unrepairable situation. But it's irrelevant whether it is unrepairable. It is the truth, and it's the honest the truth. That, you know, you go somewhere to have a surgery. You go there under faith. You go there with expectations. You go there with expectations that that doctor is going to honour, and I use the word again, honour. Honour his words in care and quality of service, of the operation and of the post-operative care. You know, that's why we pay the bigger dollar when we go to Thailand. Otherwise we could go see Dr. Phelps, or we could go see one of the other clinics where we pay cheaper money and get the same results or same problems. Because hey, when you do not interact with that person, you do not keep ongoing advice, you do not keep going ongoing consults, even over vast distance, you then become negligent. You then become disgusting. You become negligent in my eyes because you fail to give standard of care. You turned your back. You stopped communications. You stopped advice. You refused my return trip back to have the problem rectified. You have forced me into a system of a hospital system which I do not like. I am having ongoing problems because of your choice. Your choice not to continue advice. Your choice not to have me come back to Thailand to have my breast removed or cured. These are issues. What? I am not meant to speak. I am not meant to talk about these problems. I am not meant to mention these things. Because last time I mentioned it, suddenly I become the big, bad person. Hey, if I'm the first one to speak up against Dr. Saran, then hey, then it's about time something has been said. Alright? I believe the man was of good quality. I believe the man had great honour, right? And I believe he had great skills. I don't doubt his skills still. What I doubt is his post-operative care. What I doubt is the honour and his ability to honour his word, to honour what he says, to honour what he should be doing. If Dr. Saran chooses to ignore these things, and if Dr. Saran chooses to take the actions he has taken, that is not my problem anymore. But I'm not going to be silent. I am not going to be quiet. I am not going to speak about it. I have been fair. I have been honourable. I have been loyal. But I'm sorry, when it is not returned, I do not have to honour it. I have honoured my side of the bargain and everything. You are not honouring yours, so therefore, hello. Truth, honesty, I can't help it. It's out there. You're a negligent. You have failed in the standard of post-operative care. You have not responded to my communications. You have stopped advice. You have stopped me coming back to Thailand when I should have come back. You have forced me into a system of medical practices which I cannot afford, because I cannot get private cover here, which is expensive and ridiculous. And now I'm in a public system where I'm being frustrated and manipulated by a plastic surgeon for his own ideology. I'm pissed off, yes. I'm sick of this shit, yes. Do I have to put up with it? No. Should I have to put up with it? No. Should you honour your word? Should you have kept your word? Should you have done the right thing? Yes. You made the vagina, you made the nose, you made the breast, you made the bitch, now love it. You're coming, you're fixing. I'm sorry. I'm not being quiet. Dr. Saran, Bangkok, Thailand. Honour your word. Honour your agreement. Honour your warranty. Honour your problem which you gave. And I mean gave. I did not pay for these breasts. So therefore you gave them as a gift. You give me a gift, great. You give me a gift of hell. Because that's what I've had for the last 9 months, is hell. Whether you caused it, manipulated it, or whether it was my own body reaction, that question is still to be determined. But you have failed. You have not honoured your agreement. You have not honoured your word. You have not honoured your warranty. You tell me who's wrong. You tell me, am I wrong for keeping my mouth shut for all this period of time? Am I wrong for speaking out now? Like fuck! I should not have to be putting in this situation. I should not have to be going through this. You should honour your word. Why should I have to put up with this? I'm sorry. Too bad. If I lose friends for this, or if I lose you, or I lose anyone else for over me expressing my viewpoints over my health for your failures to honour your agreements, your warranty, your words, then hey, the world needs to know. No more games, no more fun. Right? Yes, I'm grateful for everything you've done before, but I am not grateful for the lack of post-operative care. I am not grateful for your attitude and your behaviour of what you are doing. I am not grateful for you making the accusations of innuendos of things which I do not do or have not done. Honour your word. Be a man. Fix the problem. Or pay for it. Have a great night.